gonna get some cupping questions, and we're gonna do some nice cuppings with them. We're gonna ask what is the cupping, what is the steps of the cuppings, what all the questions, what is running in your mind about the cuppings. So we're gonna ask it today. So hopefully guys you'll like it, and yeah, let's do it.
We were the first company to ferment coffees in Brazil.
So cupping basically is the standard international protocol to identify the quality of the coffee itself.
How do you slurp coffee during cupping?
So acidity is chemical reaction that happen from breaking down of the fermentation and also the roasting.
What is body in coffee? Top 3 specialty coffee in Qatar.
This is the toughest question so far. Thailand, Asia.
Thailand, geisha.
Thailand and Asia.
Barista action is here. We get our first roastery. It's Vulcan. So one of the biggest roastery in Qatar. So we're gonna get some cupping questions, and we're gonna do some nice cuppings with them. Hopefully guys you will like it, and in future videos if you have any questions about the coffee, comment down below. We're gonna ask all the questions what's running in your mind to get the clear answer for see, still not ready, so we're gonna prepare it here. Cupping setups, so we have 2 tables from here to here. We're gonna ask what is the cupping, what is the steps of the cuppings, what all the questions, what is running in your mind about the cuppings. So we're gonna ask it today. So hopefully guys you'll like it, and yeah, let's do it.
Hello, my name is Rainer. I'm director of coffee for Vulcan Coffee Roasters. So mostly I'm in charge for the whole operation, quality control, sourcing and green buying also here.
We get some nice questions for cuppings. As I know, a lot of our baristas really interested about that and having a lot of questions. So I want to ask all the questions to them to know what is cupping. So our first question, what is coffee cupping?
Okay, so cupping basically is the standard international protocol to identify the quality of the coffee itself. Because in cupping we have this uniform protocol how to assess the coffee. So let's say when we receive sample from the origin, then we taste it here, and we can have the same experience what they send in the farm and what we receive in our roastery.
What is the main step of cuppings?
We need to make sure the water temperature, the ratio, coffee to water ratio, the grind size, and also we have some standard brewing time, which is 4 minutes. And then sometimes we also check the temperature. Ideally we start tasting at 70 degrees Celsius, and we should stop tasting at 20 degrees Celsius.
What is temperature should be used in cupping?
So cupping also defined by ACA, the ideal temperature for cupping is between 93 to 96 degrees Celsius.
What is the grind size should be used?
So for grind size, it's gonna be hard to say the numbers because each grinder will have different particle distribution. So now I will say this based on World Coffee Roasting. We usually take the grind size around 850 microns, and 80% of the gram should goes through that screen sizing. It's a bit technical, but if you have like a sieve set, it's the ideal grind size.
As you said, 93 to 96 temperature for the cupping.
Yep.
Why in V60 using 92? What is different between this 2 brewing method?
So actually for cupping, we want to have the full range spectrum of flavor. I mean, in filter brewing, you only want to make sure the good part of the coffee, the good tasting. But in cupping, you want to identify everything from the positive and also the negative. So we know how we can approach to roast this coffee.
What defects you can detect in cupping?
So defects, usually we always divide it into two. There are green bean defects and also roasting defect. Green bean defects you can find a lot, means like maybe moldy, chemical phenolic, and there's some foreign tasting like contamination from chemical, from paint, rubber, or some mistakes in drying, so you can taste like potato defect. And then for roast defect, there are 4 roast defects. There's underdevelopment, overdevelopment, scorch, and also bake.
How do you slurp coffee during cupping?
So the purpose of slurping is make sure you cover all of your palate with the coffee and also some aeration. So you have the full tasting experience based on your taste and also aroma.
What is body in coffee?
Body, okay. That's a good question. But now, honestly, in specialty coffee, we change the term into mouthfeel. How we assess the mouthfeel? You consider the weight or the viscosity and also the textures. The weight is like from light, medium to full body, and textures generally it's rough or smooth. Is it like silky, velvety, or you find it sandy, chalky, or gritty?
How does process affect coffee flavor?
Processing generally means breaking down the sugars that have in the green bean. Okay, so different kind of processing, it's gonna be react differently on the organic acids and all the chemical compound inside the green bean. Let's say in natural, you just laid it out all on the ground, and it will have a lot of outside external factor to break down the sugars. And wash, you submerge in water, so it will also have different impacts on the flavoring. Like wash is gonna give you like cleaner, brighter, higher acidity. On the other side is natural, it's gonna be make you fruity, sweeter, and also heavier body.
How many processes of coffee we do nowadays?
Wow. Basically, we have 2, wet and dry. In the wet one, you have wash. Dry is natural, and you have also semi-wash. But nowadays you will find like natural anaerobic, which is the extended fermentation of natural. Then you have, you can say co-fermentation also. They put other ingredient in the coffee which can give more flavor, but you need to be, it's some kind of infusion, but you need to be aware also about this. Depends on how you want to drink your coffee. You want something more natural or something enhanced outside the coffee.
What is the best timing to get nice fermented beans?
Also this you cannot answer directly because it depends on the environment or the ambient temperature where you do processing. For example, in Indonesia, the condition is humid and it rains most of the time, it's warm, so maybe you need more controlled environment but longer and slower. But in the other region, higher elevation, maybe like Kenya or Colombia, you can have shorter because the climate is more dry, easier to control. So it's very different on where you do your processing.
Why is higher altitude is important?
Because it gives more chance for the coffee to have more sugars to mature in the coffee itself. The climate is cooler, so it doesn't get overripe quickly.
What is your favorite origin and what is your favorite process?
Favorite origin? Maybe I can say top 3 to be easier.
Yep.
Panama, Colombia, Ethiopia. But honestly, especially for this event, we also have Brazil, which most people only know them gonna be like chocolate nutty. But in this event, you will find a lot of fruitiness because our partner doing crazy stuff in Brazil itself.
How does roast level affects flavor?
So usually I like to give analogy like how you cook your steak. It's like a rare, medium, and well done. In rare or light roast, you can taste more of the origin flavor. While like in the well done, what you taste is mostly like the maillard or the caramelization, but you don't taste a lot of the quality from the meat itself or the coffee itself. So honestly, I prefer more on the medium to the light roast, so I can taste more of the origin, true characteristic.
What is acidity in coffee?
Acidity. So acidity is chemical reaction that happen from breaking down of the fermentation and also the roasting. Actually, it gives a lot more complexity and character to the coffee. But you need to differentiate this in the acidity in taste and also acidity in your gastric. Mostly Arabica is much more friendly because the acidity is not aggressive like in the gastric, while Robusta is more harsh to the body.
Why is resting very important after roast coffee?
So when you do the roasting, there's a lot of a carbon built up inside the coffee, and if you taste it directly, it will mask your sensory perspective in your palate. So when we are doing resting, you let out of the carbon buildup inside. So when you taste it, it's much more clearer in your palate.
Top 3 specialty coffee in Qatar.
This is the toughest question so far. I can say, maybe one of the early and specialty one is Earth in Mushrei. I like them. They have also good selection of coffee. And then one of the newest one that my favorite also is Tonka. They are in G1. They serve a lot of high grade specialty coffee until geisha and competition coffee. And then the third one, maybe this is combining also. I like 42. They are well established, consistent, good coffee.
Top 3 specialty coffee roaster in Qatar.
Top 3. I would say, of course, Bukan, because we are one of the first specialty coffee roaster, and we do a lot of direct sourcing, a lot of trusted partner, and we love to invite them here to do the cupping. And then another top 3. It's hard to select them because we are all friends.
By your opinion?
My opinion.
The same like when you're choosing the winner in latte art. She need to be straight and tough.
Okay, so one of them I like Grey also, Grey Coffee Roastery. They are in Wakra. They also offer a lot of good coffee, like wide selection of roasted coffee. And then Roots is also nice. They are new, so they still do a lot of exploration on the coffee selections.
What is top 3 filter beans do you present today for the customers?
For our customers, this is Ethiopia Bangkok Gotiti. We've been working with them for a long time. This is classic Ethiopia, but you find a lot of mango, lavender, so lots of floral and fruity character. I also like this Tanzania Korongo. Tanzania Korongo is classic wash coffee because that one is natural. This is very bright, like mandarin orange, rosemary, and the mouthfeel is just very silky in your palate.
Does washed beans good or natural beans is good for filter beans?
Both is good. Both is good because they will give you a very different experience when drinking it.
Then the third one?
The third one is this one, the one that I talked about, the Colombia Las Flores Chiroso. This is the competition lot. It was used many times in World Barista Championship, World Brewers Cup Championship, and actually why I present this as regular lineup because they also not like crazy high price like a geisha one. They sell it very fairly to the quality, and the amount we have also still good amount, not like only 20 kg or 15 like a limited coffee one.
Do you have limited coffee beans?
Yes, of course. For example, we have 3 of them here. These are all geisha. First one we have Brazil Geisha.
Brazil Geisha.
Yes,
First time
it's gonna be new, right? And we also get them from our partner Carmo Coffee. We'll be having cupping with them today. And then Thailand Geisha.
Thailand Geisha.
Thailand and Geisha. So it's a very rare one. We only get like 12 kg, and this is the whole world because this is only one lot submitted, and we bidding against the whole country in the world. And the third one we have El Salvador Geisha. Yes, this is also Cup of Excellence coffee. To get this 2 coffee, we need to bid from all other roastery in the world until the rest of the world is give up, and then we get that lot. So one example, this is a Thailand Geisha. We are selling this for 180 Rial per 200 gram. The stock, we only have like 10 kg of this. So once it's finished, then it's good. We will not have this coffee anymore.
Amazing, amazing. So we have to grab these beans, only 10 kilo limited edition. You will not see Brazil geisha, you will not see Thailand geisha, you will not see El Salvador, only Panama a lot of, but this is limited beans, guys. So try, enjoy.
After everyone finish going around for the fragrance, we will brew the coffee, wait for 4 minutes, then we can break the crust. Then after that, we can taste the coffee. Okay? And when you are smelling the fragrance, you can try to find your favorites, maybe like top 3. And then after you taste, you can check again, is your favorite coffee still the same or you have very different experience? Because sometimes when you are cupping the coffee, fragrance and taste can be very different. Maybe for this coffee you like the fragrance, but this coffee you like the taste more, because the coffee keeps changing. On the top surface of the coffee, so this is how you break the crust. So just dip the spoon half and then you just push 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So no need to stir to the bottom or no need to do the too much stirring, because actually when we are doing this we are making ununiformities. We want to make all the same protocol, because the way I stir, the way you stir, the way other person stir maybe can be different. So this is the most safest way, just 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can bring your nose closer while you are doing this. Okay, so now it's 4 minutes. Everyone can get closer, so we can break it also. I will break the first one, then from that side maybe Coco, you can help. Okay, we can break now just like this.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, then after you finish, you just dip your spoon, then you can move to the next coffee, so you will not get contaminated. Okay, please, you can start from here. Very special because we have the man himself, Carmo. We will taste some Brazilian coffee, exotic Brazilian coffee. It's not just your normal Brazil coffee. Maybe mostly you will just taste like chocolate, nutty, caramel in the coffee shops, but this one will have fruity, floral, aromatic, crazy project from Carmo, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna hand it over to Brian to have some short intro about Carmo.
Guys,
Please, guys.
the company is 18 years. So when I arrived, the company was very, very small and we were growing. Well, Carmo is a company founded by farmers. So I think this is the first big difference from Carmo to other companies. Okay, so founders of Carmo, they are farmers, and they are the 4th generation of farmers. Our biggest market is Japan, and our most growing market is Middle East. So that's why we're coming more and more. We were the first company to ferment coffees in Brazil. We went to Costa Rica, we went to Colombia, we took some farmers with us, and when we returned to Brazil, we started to ferment. Everybody in the market, you guys are crazy.